Hi, this is my first video on DIY-Fizz and I'm really excited. So I chose to make a cover for your mug, travel mug, or bottle as my first video. So what you'll need to make this is, well, if you want to use it, you should probably have a travel mug and some duct tape. I have 3 colors, 4 if you count the silver. Rainbow, forest stuff, and this other rainbow. Then I have this small roll of silver. So I have that. You need a marker. That's a dark marker, not too dark. A piece of paper that can fit around your mug or bottle with extra, like an inch of extra, inch or so. You'll need scissors and a fabric that you can cut into the same size as this. Like lay it and trace cut. Okay, so let's get started. So I'm gonna put my other materials over there. All you need right now is your marker, scissors, and paper, and the mug. So take your paper and draw a figure like the one I'm about to show you. Okay, so it should be a shape like this. It's like 2 semi-circle curved line things, and then 2 slanted lines over there and there. So now, check that just that shape will fit, and if it does, cut it out. So while you're cutting this piece of paper out, think about what color duct tape you're going to use, and the duct tape should kind of match your mug because it's going to go on the fabric. The fabric should also kind of match. Okay, so I have my shape. Now, take your fabric and you can either double layer it like this fabric is. See, it's double layered right now because it's folded on top of itself. I'm going to use that just so it's thicker. You can have it single layer if you want. But then, since you already know the paper fits, you can just lay out your fabric, put the paper on top, get your marker, and trace it. Oh, the fabric should be kind of not like really thick, not like woolly stuff, just like plain fabric. And the paper should be like art paper that's kind of hard, but it's still bendy. And now you take your scissors and you cut out your shape. This is what it looks like. Now you just cut it out. I recommend that the fabric has like a pattern on it, so if it has a bunch of shapes just on it, it would kind of not work because you wouldn't necessarily see all of the shapes. But if it's a pattern that keeps going, then that'll work. Try and cut it so you don't get the outline of your marker inside the fabric. Just cut inside the line. See, I cut it so that the marker is on the part I'm not going to use. There's no marker on the part I am going to use. Because then you won't have marker all over your cover. I recommend actually using big scissors, not the small ones like this, for the fabric because it's way faster. These are so tiny and so hard to cut fabric with, but I'll get there soon, I hope. One side done. It's okay if it's not perfect because you have extra space on your paper, so you can just make them on top of each other. So I found this activity on ductivities.com, but I kind of added my own thing to it. You'll see at the end. But I got the ideas from there. They have really good projects. If you're looking for other DIY projects, you should go there. Almost there. Okay, so now you can put your fabric away because you won't need it for the rest of the project, but you cannot put away your scissors. So I double layered it, so I have to do this step, but if you didn't double layer it, you can just skip ahead to the part where I am going like this. Okay? Just skip to there if you didn't double layer it. But if you did, you'll want to follow this step. So take a color of duct tape, probably a plain color so that it doesn't really distract you from the big duct tape. So measure out a piece like from one end to the other. Don't actually tape it on yet. But don't go to the curves, just go from, okay, I have to show you. So it kind of curves over there and near where my other finger is. So you want it to just be a straight line. So, like, don't actually tape it on, I'm just showing you that it should go like that. From where it curves to where it curves on the other side. So you don't have it on the curved part. So cut that out. You might want to make like a centimeter of extra, just in case. And then put it on your fabric like this. For some people it doesn't stick right away, but you just have to wait because it will. You just have to kind of press hard. You can use the heel of your palm, your fingers, and then you flip it over and bend it so it's sticking to the other side as well. I'll show you in a second. And it should look something like that. If it doesn't, that's okay. Just go back a couple steps. But if you have corners like right there that come off, just use your scissors and cut it off. It'll look fine. Just like that. And I have another corner, so I'm going to do that too. Okay, so you have the top done, and then you can do the bottom the same way. For the bottom, you should probably put less on that side. See how on this side I put a lot, and then there's barely any on that side, but there's like a lot over there. For the bottom, you should do the opposite so that it doesn't look like there's barely any fabric. So put it on, make a little extra, cut it, flip to the other side, press it in, and you've done that part. Now for the sides, fold them to the back like this. So if this is the front, I would fold it over to the back and tape it on the back so it doesn't look like it's framed with duct tape, because you want to have room for the other duct tape. So put a piece like this, no one will see it. Just cut it like that. So on the back it should look like that. And then you do that to the other side where there isn't duct tape. just fold it back. Not too much. If you didn't have much extra paper, then don't fold it too much, because that would make it not fit and that would be a waste of time. Okay, so this is what mine looks like. If you double layered it, this is what it should kind of look like. Okay, so on to the next part. Take your mug or bottle and wrap it around. And I have a big problem. It doesn't fit. So if that happened to you and you doubled it, then just go like this. Don't fold it. And you should have just enough. Okay, now comes the slightly harder part after a second. So wrap it around and just kind of, if you have extra, then make a mark with a pencil or something that you can erase, showing where you're gonna do it, and then unwrap it and put this away. So you want to kind of sketch out your plan for what you're going to put in the center over here. So I'm thinking like maybe a star or a heart or something, or like you could do an animal. So you just think about that, and when you're ready you can draw it, I guess, on a separate sheet of paper, or you can just, you don't have to draw it. I like to draw it though, to see how it'll look. So use your marker and think. I don't think a star would actually work very well. I think I'm going to do a bird. And they're actually going to have wings on top. So I'll have to cut out pieces like that. And then I can add eyes if we want later. So this is my idea. That's the bird I'm going to cut out, and that's the wing I'll put on top. And then you think what color you're going to use. So I have 4 colors, and I think I'm going to use the bottom one because it kind of feels floaty like a bird, I don't know, and I might add this in. So you can put this away for now, and then get a piece of duct tape that's maybe just about as long as you want the thing in the middle to be. If you did a border like this, if you double-sided it, your thing can go on top of the border if you really need to. It's too big. So I'm just going to cut out this much, but then you actually don't cut it there. You do double that length. So it'll be double-sided. Cut it out. So I'm just doing this long. Maybe 6 inches because the whole thing will be 3 or so. So I'll cut it out. So I have this. And then you lay it down. And without actually sticking it, you just find the half mark. by pressing the edges together. You'll find it. And then, when you have it half and half like this, you can press the rest down. If it didn't come out perfectly, that's okay. You can redo it. So I'm gonna cut off extra because first of all, it came out badly, and secondly, I'm not gonna use that part. So if stuff got wrinkled or something, you can just cut it off. So I have my duct tape, just cutting off edges that are still sticky. Okay, so now with maybe your scissors, you can trace out the image that you want. So I'll trace it. If it doesn't work for you with scissors, that's okay. You can just cut it as you want. So you can't really see it, but you can feel it. The little bird that I drew. And then you take your scissors and just cut it out. You can change your idea as you cut if you want to. A lot of people find that helpful. Like, if they're allowed to change stuff as they do it, that really helps me. Because then I don't have to stick to the one thing that I did. I can change it. So I cut out my bird, and now I am going to make the wing. If you don't have something that has an additional thing, you don't have to do this, but I'm going to. So I'm gonna cut a piece this big and fold it in half, just like the other piece. Okay, that was a fail. I just messed it up. I do that a lot with duct tape. So I'll cut out another wing. Did I really just do that? Wow. My bird is like just the perfect size for the space that I have. Okay. So once you have it, if you're doing this step, you have this, and then you just cut out your extra piece. Now my bird has a wing. And then if I want, I can draw with a dark marker a little eye. And then I have my bird. So a lot of people will be like, how do you attach this extra piece? Well, it's actually really easy. You just take a really small piece of duct tape, like really small, this big, and then you use the wing or whatever your extra piece is, and you tape it on. And if you want, you can fold it back and add another tiny piece so that it stays. I'm gonna do that just for extra protection. So it doesn't break and stuff and fall apart. And then the wing is attached. Now you take your fabric, the big thing, and then you take your little attachment and you get a piece, another small piece, not that small, maybe this long, 3 inches or so. Cut it out. And then roll it up. Or if you really want to, you could just use tape on the edges, but that wouldn't really look good. So you can do this. So you have a roll like that. Stick it on the back. And then put it on the fabric. And finally, you take your mug and the fabric, you put it on, get a small piece of duct tape, maybe the length of this side length, cut it out, put your cover on, turn it to the back, and stick it. You know, I'm going to put the tape on while it's down, so it actually works. Okay, so I have the tape on. I put this around. Tape it. And you're done. Thanks for watching my video, and please subscribe or like or comment below. And I hope you liked my first video. Bye.